Hello, guys. I just wanted to make this recording lesson for today, just so you guys could understand, just to go over this sim. So I'm looking at the warm up for Force in Motion, Chapter 3, Lesson 3.3. So if we go into the warm up, so I'm going to go into the warm up now. And you click on that, you'll see it's underlined red, so that's in warm up. So I'm going to read this. It says, forces and collisions, objects with different masses in a collision, how do forces affect the objects? So that is the question that you are answering. And here it says, predict how forces will affect two objects that collide. You want to make a prediction, so there's a drop down of the prediction. Both objects will change velocity. On one object will change velocity, neither object will change velocity. Then we want to be very careful to look at our instructions. These are the instructions, and they are numbered. 1, force in motion simulation, so you go in the simulation. 2, you want to make sure you go to 3.3 warm-up. Record the mass of each object, so you want to do that initially. So you may want to have a notebook, something to write with. You may want to have that handy so that you can record these things, because otherwise you're going to have to toggle back and forth or flip back and forth between your two tabs, curriculum and the sim. Run the test collision, so you want to make sure it's in test. Change the starting velocity of each object as described in the data table. I'll show you that soon. Press run to observe the collision. Press analyze to determine the change in velocity for each object. Record your observations in the data table. After you complete 3 tests, discuss the reflection questions with your partner. So we're not doing the partner since we're working independent. And so here is your mass for object A, mass for object B is in kilograms. And here's our data table. So collision 1 is 5 centimeters to the right, and your velocity 0. Collision 2, 5 centimeters to the right, velocity is 2 to the left, which is 2 negative. Collision 3 is 5 centimeters to the right, velocity is to right, which would be positive. Then after you do these sims, you want to record your data. Object A, change in velocity, so you want to write the change in velocity. Object B, change in velocity. After you've done the sim, you recorded the data, then you can hand it in. And here are the 2 reflection questions. What do you notice about the change in velocity on the objects? Why do you think the objects in each collision experience a different change in velocity? So now I'm going to go into the sim. So I'm going to change my tab. And so it is loading. The sim is loading, so you want to make sure, just let it load. Sometimes it can take a little longer. So here we are. Then you want to go into the menu. Those 3 bars are menu. You want to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says 3.3 warm up. Open it, click on it. Now we want to look at our mass. So you can, it's color matching. You see A matches this. So the mass is 4 for A. B, the mass is, it matches to 2. So you have 4, 4, 2. So you want to go back to your warm up and write in mass. So A is 4 kilograms and B is 2. So as soon as you start typing, you notice it says hand in. So that will say in progress. So when I look on classwork, it's going to show me that you are in progress. So now I'm going back to my sim. Okay, I'm back here at the sim. And then, so we want to check our velocity. This says 5 centimeters. That's correct. It's 0. And B should be 0, 0. So the collision 1 is 0, 0. And we hit run. Let it run. And then you can pause. Stop it. Go to analyze. And then you replay it. I would, and so you can see And you can see it's a force is 80, but this time they're not asking us about our force. So we look at our data table here. It says start horizontal, it was 5 velocity, then it went to 3, and so the change was -2 or A. B, it started at 0, it went to A, and it never changed, it stayed at A. So we go back to curriculum. Change your tab, my tab just changed. So A change was -2, and B was 8. You do that. So you do that for all of them. So I'm not going to do all of them. I'll just show you one, how to change your velocity. I'm going to change my tab again. So you go back to build. So after you do collision 1, you do collision 2, you go click build, and it'll reload it. You want to check your velocity. A never changes. B is going to change. So this should be a -2. So you want to do -2. That's it. So you start at -2, and then we verify that is definitely a -2. Oh, 2 to the left is -2. So this is -2, and then you do the same process. You hit run, you analyze, you record your data. So I'm going to stop right there. And so I just wanted you guys to understand what you had to do for this lesson. So this is a video note. I have to stop recording.